Hi everyone and welcome to Best of Eyes of 2022. This is part of the Best of 2022 series. If you haven't seen all the videos that have come before this one, I'll link the playlist at the end of this video so you can watch it a little bit later on. But this video has got quite a lot crammed into it. Best mascara, best eyeliner, best eyeshadow palette, best eyeshadow primer, best of brows. So we're gonna get straight on with it. If you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new content on YouTube every single week, and if you don't want to miss any more of this series, I would love it if you would click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. So we're going to run through my ultimate favourites in each category. If that ultimate favourite is not affordable or cruelty-free, I'm going to give you my favourites in those as well. So let's jump straight into brows. So I don't think this is going to be a surprise for anybody because I use it in every single video. It's always listed in the description box. This is from SCHWARZKOPF and it's the Got To Be Brows and Edges. I was told when I first bought this that you can simply just buy the hair gel where you get a lot more product for your money and put that in your brows, but in my opinion I think that's gonna get a little bit messy, and I wanted to buy this one first at least because in the tube you get the spoolie and I really rate this spoolie. It's got a longer side on one edge and then you've got a shorter side that you can get really close to the brow skin, and I just think this is great. I haven't wanted to use another spoolie at all. This one works just fine and it's so affordable. It is seriously affordable and I've never known a brow gel with this much hold. I have spoken to a few subscribers that would completely disagree with me. This product did not work for them at all, but I can't complain. I've been using this now for quite some time and never had a bad brow day. This is also super affordable, so it's my affordable favorite. It's my ultimate favorite. What can I say? I wish it was cruelty-free, but it's not. So let's move on to that option. So this is the e.l.f. Brow Lift. This is also affordable and cruelty-free. This is a stiffer consistency than the SCHWARZKOPF product, but as soon as it hits the warmth of the skin, it really does loosen off and turn into a very similar consistency. I don't find this completely dries down, so there is still a tiny bit of movement in the hair. If you don't like that, you're probably not going to want to go for this, but I still find the hold really strong. As you can see, this is heavily used. I used this a lot before I moved on to the SCHWARZKOPF product. This also hasn't dried out on me, and if you followed me a while ago when I was using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze product, within a month, I think, that had completely dried down and gone white. This has not done that. And it's way more affordable than the Anastasia Beverly Hills product, so extra brownie points for e.l.f. So my favourite brow pen, I also don't think it's going to be a surprise to anybody. If you've been watching my videos for the last month or the last couple of years, you're gonna know what I'm gonna say. This is the Lift and Snatch from NYX and it's in the shade Ash Brown. I think this is hands down the best brow pen on the planet. It is out of this world amazing. It's also affordable. It's also cruelty-free. What is not to like? This has the finest tip on the end of the pen that you can create the finest hair or also thicken it off a little bit just by pressing on a little bit harder. These last such a long time. I mean, if I was going to economize, if I was the head of NYX, I would put less product in here because this is gonna last me a good 5-6 months before I need to buy a new one. I hope they never discontinue this. Please don't discontinue this. If anybody is watching from NYX and you discontinue this, I will be so upset because they discontinue all of my favorite items at NYX. Please do not discontinue this. I'm actually getting worried. I may have to go and buy out extras because I always have one extra in the drawers over there, but I've just sent myself in a panic. There is no word that this is going to be discontinued, by the way. This is what keeps me up at night in my sad little head. So as you can see, you can emulate really fine hairs on the skin, thicker hairs if you decide to press on a little bit harder. This is so versatile and it lasts all day for me. I have heard some subscribers say that this turns green on their skin. I've also heard that from other products as well, but this one never has done on me. The shade Ash Brown is just perfection. Never ever had an issue. I'm not quite sure why some people do, but it's never happened to me. Let's move move on to eyeshadow bases, and I'm going to save you a lot of time here because my favourites this year are exactly the same as my favourites last year, and that's not because I've not been able to find anything that rivals both of these, and I'm talking about the P. Louise eye base and also the Beauty Bay eye base as my cruelty-free favourite. I absolutely love the P. Louise eye base, but because of that, and because I use this every single time, I've not felt the need to go elsewhere and try other brands' products. So here's where you can help me out. I really ought to be trying more eyeshadow bases. Let me know your ultimate favourite eyeshadow base and I will go and try it out, and hopefully there may be some more options in my favourites of 2023 series. Here's hoping. Anyway, that does not mean that there is anything wrong with the P. Louise base. In fact, quite the opposite. This really sticks my eyeshadow to my lids, makes it last way longer, also increases the pigment of the eyeshadow, makes it really vibrant. If you don't want that, just powder this in place and you will have a really soft effect, but it still lasts all day. This stops the oils coming through my eyelids, making the pigment last a lot longer, but also stopping that creasing that can often happen on the eyelid, especially with foil eyeshadows. Really don't like that, and this stops that from happening. So you can get away with using a tiny amount or even quite a bit of this product for it to work. Absolutely love it. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to waffle in this portion because you can see my thoughts if you just went and watched last year's, or if you watched last year's already, you already know. Let's move on to my favourite eyeshadow palettes. I am always in awe of the people that go out during the day wearing vivid purples, blues, pinks, oranges on the eyelids. It's just not me. I wish it was. I like more, shall we say, wearable, should we say boring eyeshadows. I like something to look as natural as physically possible. I do like a hint of colour here or there. Usually that colour is green. I gravitate to khaki green colours and just not cool tone greens. Cool tone greens really turn me off, so nothing pepperminty, but I like those really warm green tones, but I also love a neutral palette and also a cool tone palette as well. So it's been difficult to decide my ultimate favourite, but decide I have. And it's going to shock a lot of people because I haven't spoken about this on my channel ever. It's a relatively new palette for me. I only ordered it a week or so ago and I'm in love with it. Have it on my eyes today. In fact, you will have seen me wear this previously in this series where I've worn different eye looks and they've all been from this palette. The neutral looks, the glitzy looks, all from this palette because it is super versatile and it's right up my street. This is from Bobbi Brown and it's the Jadestone eyeshadow palette, and how gorgeous is it? It is just gorgeous, beautiful, divine, stunning. What more can I say? I love it. There are 6 mattes in here which blend out effortlessly and 6 metallics. No glitter, but the metallics are quite sparkly. I just adore it. Absolutely adore it. I'm going to show you the swatches on the screen now, but if you want to see different looks that I've created with this palette, just go back and watch this series again because you will see plenty. This is quite a pricey palette. I'm not quite sure if it's limited edition. Is it? Oh, it is limited edition. I'm so sorry. That means that by the time this video goes live, because I am pre-filming this, this may have sold out already. If that is the case and you're wanting to get your hands on it, I apologise wholeheartedly, but I cannot lie. This is my favourite of 2022. I think it is divine. My ultimate favourite eyeshadow palette, second place option, which is also my cruelty-free option and is not limited edition, so everybody stop panicking. Although, having said that, probably the majority of you have already got this palette because it's been out for a couple of years and it's been in my ultimate favourites for the last 2 years running. It's from NATASHA DENONA and it is the Glam palette. I don't think you can go wrong with this palette. It is just unbelievable. I'll show you the swatches on the screen now, but this is the most beautiful, neutral, cool palette. It is so wearable for anybody, regardless of what your eye colour is, regardless of what your skin tone is. This looks beautiful on absolutely everybody that I've seen wear it. Stunning. The shadows are soft and sumptuous. Is that even a thing for eyeshadows? Well, I've just said it, so now it is. So soft, glides on, just so pigmented, really vivid in colour. You can blend them out completely effortlessly. And even though this is a pricey product, I would say that this is also beginner friendly. It's really, really lovely. And I hope they sell it forever because it's one of the best palettes, or maybe even the best palette of all time. It's the one that I always gravitate back to. That says it all. If you want a similar colour story but you don't want to spend the big bucks on the NATASHA DENONA Glam palette, you could always opt for COLORPOP. This is the That's Taupe palette. It's really, really beautiful. I'll show you the swatches on the screen now. You could also opt for the palette Going Coconuts though, which is more of a neutral undertone palette, or the palette Nude Mood, which includes slightly warmer hues. Let's move on to favourite eyeliners. Now, although I do have some favourite eyeliners, recently I've started using eyeshadow as my liner instead and having great success with it. I think it's a lot easier doing a liner with an eyeshadow as long as you've got a good brush, and the brush that I really recommend because it's so easy to use is the REPHR 29 brush. All you need to do is get a little bit of shadow on the end of this, and rather than draw a line, which can be quite difficult, especially if you have shaky hands like mine, all you need to do is stamp this in place. It is so simple and very, very effective. I find that as I get older and I get a little bit more texture on my eyelids, I'm getting a few more crinkles on my eyelids, it's easier for me to use an eyeshadow as liner than it is for me to use an actual liner itself. But that is by the by, I do still use eyeliners on the odd occasion, and my ultimate favourite has to be the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner. I love this. I have it in 2 shades. My ultimate favourite shade is the shade Olive because I'm a green lover, you all know. This is my thing. It's definitely up my street. Even if I'm wearing no eyeshadow whatsoever, if I just opt to put a little bit of bronzer in my crease, this is the one that I reach for. It is stunning. Really, really beautiful. It has a smudger on the end, so you can quite easily smudge this for a more smoky look if you want to. Let me find space on the back of my hand. It's the most beautiful green. In some lights, it looks black. In other lights, it's got the most beautiful green hue to it, so it's not overly dramatic, which is why I love it so much. It's also very, very easy to smudge out and make a lot softer. So very, very simple, very easy, but if you leave it for a little bit, it will set down. It does give you a lot of work time with this though, so you don't have to be super quick with the blender or the buffer on the other end. So the Victoria Beckham eyeliner is my ultimate favourite. It's also my cruelty-free favourite as well. I don't have an affordable favourite, and this was the same last year, I believe. I have been trying a lot of more affordable eyeliners, and I've just not thought they were good enough to put in this video, so I don't want to make one up and lie to you all because you would definitely not appreciate that, so I'm just going to leave it out. Sorry about that. I will try harder next year. So before we talk about mascara, I just want to make everybody aware I'm not wearing mascara today. I've got a few fake lashes on. I thought this was a bit of an event and I would make the effort. I do like false lashes. I don't like them all the time, but I do think they have a place. I could definitely not do this every day, which is why I've picked these lashes, because these lashes stay on for a good couple of weeks before you remove them, wash them, and then you can reapply them again. They're from a company called Lash Ribbons. They only deliver in the UK. I think. I will check that out and I will let you know in the description box. But these are great. They work very, very similarly to Lashify or other companies of that ilk. They come on a ribbon. I have them in 3 different lengths, 14mm, 12mm and 10mm. I have the 14mm on the out portion of my lashes, 3 12mm and then 1 10mm in the center. You don't have to go to town like me if you want to try these out. I just wanted my lashes to look a little fuller and I wanted them to last. I didn't want to be having to faff around putting false lashes on every day of the week, because that is so not me. That's just a little bit too high maintenance for me. I don't have the time, the energy. I'm very lazy. So these are perfect for me. They last around about 10 days for me, and that's because I use an oil cleanser. So if you weren't to use an oil cleanser, if you used a foaming cleanser and tried to dodge the band of the lash, these would probably last the full 14 days or even more for you. But again, around about 7 to 10 days for me. But that's enough for me, because I don't want to look like I've got fake lashes on every single day of the week. It's not my thing. So these are really good. I really like them, but they're not for everybody and they only deliver in the UK. So finally, let's get on with favourite mascara. I have a clear favourite this year. Ever since I tried this mascara, I haven't really wanted to use any other. There have been others that have rivaled it, but they've never quite hit the mark. This is from MAC and it's the MAC Stack. I love this mascara. I love the wand. First off, I just think it's a lovely wand. It's my kind of thing. It grabs every single individual lash. It's very easy to apply on both top and bottom lashes, which I think it's quite difficult to find a mascara that's easy to do both top and bottom. It's either big enough to grab every single lash on the top but too big for the bottom lashes. This is really easy to turn on its side and do those bottom lashes just by stroking in a downward motion, and you can get every single lash by stroking upwards on the upper lashes. And because it's more triangular and this part of the wand is slightly thicker, really does grab that outer lash, which is always the one that my mascara wands miss, right on that outer corner. Also really easy to do the inner corner, which a lot of mascara wands smudge on me because, you know, I've got clumsy fingers and my hand isn't always steady. So yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about this apart from it's not waterproof and it does transfer. So to stop it from transferring, I always need to apply a little bit of powder onto this upper lid, and I always need to apply a little bit of powder on the backs of the lashes themselves. Use a translucent powder. It won't look white or powdery on the lashes. Just the tiniest amount on the backs of the lashes stops the transfer on me. It's a small price to pay for a perfect mascara, and to me that is what this is. But the MAC Stack is definitely not affordable, and it's also not cruelty free either. So my cruelty free affordable favourite goes to Beauty Pie. This is the perfect waterproof mascara, and that is exactly what it is. It is such an amazing waterproof mascara. I have never known a mascara be more waterproof than this one. It's quite difficult to take off. You do need an oil cleanser. A balm cleanser tends not to get this one off. They do sell a waterproof makeup remover at Beauty Pie. I don't think that is as good as using an oil cleanser, a liquid oil cleanser. This comes off no problems for me with an oil cleanser, but with anything else, it takes me a while. So I also like the wand on this. It is slightly curved. Again, very, very easy to do all those top lashes and the lower lashes as well without smudging. It's very, very nice. This is easy to get a very light layer of mascara on, whereas the MAC Stack, that's slightly more challenging because it's quite a thick formula in the MAC Stack. And because of that, you get volume pretty much immediately, whereas you have to build it up with this. So if you're wanting something slightly more subtle and soft, this is the one that I tend to gravitate towards rather than going straight for the MAC Stack. If I'm using the MAC Stack mascara and it's seriously hot and humid in the UK, which very rarely happens, but on the odd occasion it does, and sometimes we do have to crack the fans out and all wish we had air conditioning, but if it is that sort of situation and I know that powder on the backs of the lashes and the upper lids is not going to hold that at bay, a little bit of this on the backs of the lashes will make the backs waterproof, and I know I'm not going to get any smudging throughout the day. Either that, or if it's that sort of weather, I'll just go for this one immediately and avoid all the issues. So that's it for the best of eyes of 2022. A little bit of a longer video than the videos that have come prior to this one, but there were a lot of categories to get through, so I hope you stuck it out to the end. If you did, leave a comment in the comment section. I really hope you've enjoyed this one and hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.